Hey there guys, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you're all doing well. Today for this episode we are doing some first aid. And we're doing some first aid actually on myself. If you follow our Facebook page, you guys know that my wife and I went to Virginia, to Damascus, and did some biking the other day. You also know that I crashed and burned on my bike and I got tore up pretty good. So right now we're just going to do some first aid. We're going to take care of some of these cuts and lacerations here. I tell you what, not very pleasant. Basically what happened was we had biked about 18 miles to the top of White Top from Damascus on the Creeper Trail. We had turned around and we're heading back down the mountain, and the truth is I was flying. I was doing over 20 miles an hour on my mountain bike, and I came around a corner and hit a rock, and a big rock, and it just threw me over my handlebars. And I tell you what, always wear a helmet. Guys, it's stupid to ride a bike and not wear your helmet. I landed right on my head, right here basically. But as I came down, of course my hands hit the ground, scraped the skin off here, I rolled over, smashed my elbow, scratched it up here, and my shoulder. So, you know, really, I was very, very lucky. And the truth is, I don't even hurt that bad. I'm not even sore. So, that's a good crash. That's pretty awesome. But let me go ahead here and show you my hands. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Then we'll focus on the first aid. So here you go. Here are my hands. And as you can see there, a lot of that skin was removed. You can see those dark spots. And that is actual dirt that's still underneath the skin. And of course, all these wounds right here were just packed full of dirt and rocks. Very, very painful. Not very bad on this hand. A little bit I was able to get most of the rocks and stuff out, but there's still some there. Here on my elbow, you can see all scratched up. There's still some dirt in here. But as you can tell, it's not infected, and I'll explain that to you just a little bit. Back of the arm torn up a little bit, not too shabby. Let's see. There's my shoulder. Smashed it pretty good, took some skin off, but luckily no dirt was able to get into that. So, in addition to my hands, my arm, my shoulder, I also tore up my leg a little bit. But really, like I said, it wasn't too bad. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. When it came to the crash and these wounds here, the most painful part was digging all of the dirt out of these cuts. I tell you what, that is extremely painful, but you have to do it. You have to get that stuff out. Otherwise, you are looking at a very high chance of infection. I'll go ahead and show you my hand one more time. As you can see there, it looks pretty darn good. If you're like myself, I get wounded often enough. I'm always outdoors. It happens. Things slip. Sometimes you trip, whatever. Now, if you have a cut, the easiest way to tell if you have an infection is it red? And I'm not talking about the wound itself. I'm talking about around the wounds. If you have an infection, usually it'll be very sore, it'll be puffy, full of pus, just nasty indeed. As you can see here, yeah, the wounds are red where the skin's gone, but around the wounds, it's not. That means I've been doing a good job of taking care of it. It's not infected. That's awesome. Now what I'm going to show you guys is how I am going to take care of this. I'm going to doctor up my hand and protect it. Now with these big open wounds, it's important that I make sure to keep them sterile. I need to have antibiotic cream on here. I do not want to get this infected. I want this to heal as fast as possible. Because even though this doesn't really hurt, this is hindering me from doing things that I want to do. So we're going to do some first aid with items that are typically found in your first aid kit. The items that I have here have come out of one of mine, Adventure Medical first aid kits. Okay, the first thing that we have here is a non-adherent sterile pad. Now, I tell you what guys, this is important. This is what's going to go against my hand, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to put all this together. When it comes to the pad that you put against your wound, you want to use the very best sterile pad that you possibly have. You want something that can go against your wound and that won't stick to your wound. Because if you have a wound on your body, it's going to ooze and stuff like this. And that also means that it has a possibility of drying. So you want a pad that can go against your skin that won't adhere to that wound. Because what's going to happen? you're eventually going to have to take this off the dressing. You're going to have to clean it, whatever. If you peel that off, let's say it's toilet paper. If you peel that off, it's going to take your skin with it. So definitely, you want to use the right stuff for the right job. Now, of course, if you don't have a non-adherent pad like I do, you have to use what you have to use. That's just how it goes. I mean, if you have nothing with toilet paper, use your toilet paper. If you have a washcloth, use your washcloth. We have the pad. We also have some antibiotic cream, and this is just regular stuff that you can buy anywhere. You can buy this in tubes. This is in a nice little package right here. It's essentially the same thing as like a triple antibiotic ointment, something like this that you can buy at Walgreens, whatever. Most first aid kits will have something like this. So we have the pad, we have the ointments, we also have some bandage. All first aid kits are different, so what you have in yours may be a little bit different than what I have here. You may have gauze. This is a pretty cool little product. This is what I personally like to carry in my first aid kits because it's stretchy, as you can see, which really makes it easy to bandage yourself up, but it also adheres to itself, so you don't have to have any tape or anything like that. Let me go ahead, move the camera, let's take care of this hand. Alright, my friends, it is time to doctor us up. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to start with our antibiotic ointment to prevent infection. And what I'm going to do here is just squirt this all over my wound. So I'm just going to cover up all of those wounds with our ointment. So as you can see there. Now I'm going to take my pad and I'm going to put that on. Usually with these pads there's one side that goes on, one side that doesn't. With this pad, which you may not be able to see, you can tell on this side actually has a kind of a piece of plastic in the middle. So that means that it's the opposite side that goes on. So basically we're just going to lay that down over the top of my wounds, just like so. Then it comes time to bandage it up. And what I'm going to do here is pull out a good long chunk of this. Now, since I'm bandaging myself up, it is kind of difficult to hold this into place. But, say if you're at home or if you have some tape in your first aid kit, you could lay that over your pad and tape it on, and then begin wrapping yourself up. And let's say you don't have tape. Just go ahead and hold it down with your fingers, just like so. And go ahead, and you don't want to do this tight. It's got to be loose. Go around. Go back over the bottom, as you can see. Now I'm going to go over my hand, between my thumb and forefinger. Back around. And back over. And I'm going to stop there because I don't want to waste this. And there we go. And there's my hand, fully protected, taken care of. Now I'm in pretty good shape. Alright, that feels pretty darn good, I have to say. Not too bad at all. Now guys, for this episode, I just wanted to demonstrate to you guys just one way that you can go about doing first aid if you're in a situation where you need it. Now, if I had had a camera with me when I was on the trail, I probably would have recorded that more and shown you guys more about how I went about cleaning this up. Basically, I took a washcloth that I had in my pack, and I ended up scraping as much of that dirt out as I possibly could, and let me tell you, it hurt like a son of a gun. I promise you, it did. But it's just something you have to do. So scrape it out, bandage it up the best I could. I had a small first aid kit with me. So that right there basically gave me enough time to finish the ride, get home, and then take care of it the proper way. So my friends, that's it. If you have any questions for me, please feel free, drop me a line and let me know. I'm happy to help. Make sure to check out our Facebook page. You'll get to see all sorts of sneak peeks and inside looks about what's going on with the Outdoor Gear Review, all my adventures, all that good stuff. I will definitely see you guys around. Strength and honor. Wear a helmet. Be well.